You know, it's funny what you can learn from the most unexpected places. Have you ever really looked at a simple garden flower and thought about what it might have to teach us? Well, today we're going to do just that. We're digging into the pretty profound lessons hidden inside one of the most unassuming plants you can find. This is the surprising sermon of the moss rose. So, let's just jump right in. Here's the big question we're wrestling with. What on earth can a simple flower, one that actually loves the toughest conditions, teach us about thriving when life, turns up the heat?
I mean, when you first see a moss rose, or Portulaca, you might not even notice it. It's definitely not trying to be the star of the garden. It's small, it kind of hugs the ground, it's not reaching up for attention. But its real power, its secret, lies somewhere else entirely. And that gets us to our first huge insight. This plant isn't just, surviving the heat. It's specifically designed for it. It is, in a very real way, formed for the fire. And it gives us this incredible model for endurance. So, how does it do it? Well, it all comes down to its biology. The moss rose is a succulent annual. Now, what does that even mean? It means its leaves, which look like these little green needles, are actually fleshy because they're designed to store water. This is its secret weapon. It's what allows it to get through long periods of drought and the most relentless, baking sun you can imagine. And this just nails the core idea, right? We look at a flower and we automatically think fragile. But that is not the story here. The moss rose isn't some delicate thing that just gets lucky and survives. Nope. Its entire being is engineered for exposure. Its strength comes from its very design.
And what's really fascinating is its relationship with the sun. The flowers don't just put up with the light, they respond to it. They only open up completely in direct sunlight. And then when that light starts to fade, they close right back up. It's such a powerful metaphor for how we, too, really open up and bloom when we're pointed toward the right kind of light.
Okay, so that brings us to our second lesson. The moss rose doesn't just teach us about being tough, it also teaches us about a very specific kind of beauty. A beauty that stays low, that embraces a posture of, humility.
Just think for a second about the contrast with a traditional rose. A classic rose is a vertical statement. It's got thorny canes, it's reaching for the sky. But the moss rose, it creates this horizontal carpet, spreading low and staying close to the earth. It's a completely different way of being beautiful. And that posture, it brings up a really important question. Does staying low, does being humble mean you lack glory? Does being quiet mean you're insignificant? And the answer is just a huge, resounding no. Just look at this. The intricate beauty here is absolutely undeniable. The petals can be simple and clean, or they can be all complex and ruffled like silk. This is stunning, brilliant color coming from a tiny, humble frame. It just proves that glory isn't always about being the tallest or the loudest.
All right, so beyond its toughness and its posture, the plant's daily cycle, that gives us our final lesson. It's an amazing teacher of simplicity, and it offers these powerful insights into what it means to be renewed. Get this, the moss rose thrives in conditions that would make other plants just wither and die. It actually prefers poor, lean soil, and it does not want to be overwatered. And that gives us this really potent thing to think about. Sometimes having too much, having an abundance, can actually make us weak. And it's the hardship, the dry seasons, that build our inner strength and our resilience. Its life cycle is basically a masterclass in renewal. First, its beauty is a daily thing. Each bloom lasts for just one day. But that's not a tragedy, because it's followed by daily renewal, as new flowers constantly pop up to take their place. And what does this create? It creates a state of daily dependence. Every single day requires new light for that cycle to start all over again.
And this rhythm, this idea of daily grace and starting fresh, it mirrors this incredibly powerful spiritual concept captured right here in this quote from Lamentations, "His mercies are new every morning." The moss rose literally lives this truth out, showing us that each day is a completely fresh start, a brand new opportunity to bloom.
Okay, so let's put it all together. What is the sermon that this small, tough, beautiful flower is preaching? What's the main message we can walk away with from this explainer? It really boils down to these four simple but totally profound ideas. Stay low, practice humility. Stay open to the light. Point yourself toward whatever it is that gives you life. Store grace for the dry days. Build up those inner reserves.
And finally, bloom boldly in the heat. Don't just survive the tough times, let them be the very conditions where you show off your most brilliant colors. And we're going to end with this one final beautiful thought. It's really a message of incredible hope. The lesson of the moss rose is to trust that beauty and resilience and life can absolutely flourish in the most unlikely circumstances. Trust that there can be vibrant, stunning color right in the places where other people might only see dust.